It snowed. It finally snowed, chickens. I'm so happy. Everything looks so gosh darn gorgeous. Oh, England. You've got such a nice dress on today, I tell you. I've been exploring where are some good places to walk in the new area of town where I'm happily ensconced with my man badger. So just kind of exploring and spending a little bit of every morning, not a lot of every morning because I'm very, very busy at this point in my life. But a little bit of every morning just kind of wandering around a little bit and seeing what's what. And I must say it's all very Narnia. Oh, now this is the canal. Okay, I see where we are now. Got me in a sat-nav on. That's right, I was born in 1984. We didn't have iPhones then. I guess I'll go and see if the canal's frozen. Oh no, it's not quite frozen, no. Parts of it are. Today I wanted to say that something I often encourage my clients to do, especially during things like months of intention or weeks of intention, I often find that it seems pertinent and it makes sense to advise this. I advise people to set their intention and set their energetic vibration in the morning. And if you are personally not doing this as part of your morning routine, then I would really, really recommend it, because you're probably missing out on quite a lot of perspective and calm and mindfulness and joy, which can come as a direct result of allowing yourself to set your energetic vibration. So what I would say is one good way to do it is to go through the chakra system from top to bottom, and that can take you 10 minutes, 20 minutes, you know, depending on what's what. A short meditation is also good. A small ritual like lighting a candle, burning some incense, reciting an affirmation, reciting a prayer, going through the prayer beads, even just going to a reflection space and looking at it and reminding yourself of what it is that you want to bring to the day, and what your power words are, you know, what is it that you really want to bring into consciousness. And what kind of vibration do you want to hold? What kind of vibration do you want to set and then carry throughout the day? The reason that I often tell people to do this is that there's so much energetic muck about, you know, muck around. You know, everybody's carrying their own vibration, and some of those vibrations are really complex, and some of them are really erratic, and some of them are really stressed, and some of them are carrying a lot of shadow stuff quite close to the surface, and it's kind of murky, you know. There's a lot of auras around that are going to clash with yours. There are a lot of ideas and beliefs that are going to clash with yours. There's a lot of complications, a lot of tensions through the day. People are going to have kind of a different will and might battle your will. You might have certain situations at work or with family or whatever it is that you know at the moment are pretty tense. You're going to come up against challenges. You're going to come up against the unexpected as well, stuff that just wasn't in the brochure, stuff that wasn't on the schedule for the day, and you're going to have to deal with it kind of ad hoc. As you go through the day, your sense of empowerment can really kind of dampen when you realise that these outside energies, these external factors and influences are having some kind of an effect on the way that you're holding yourself, the way that you are aligned with your principles. You know, you might stray from the path that you've chosen to walk. You might do something that isn't in accordance with your principles. You might kind of snap and say something hurtful instead of walking away, or you might get completely stressed and overwhelmed and not be able to deal with the situation, and so maybe avoid it and move into a passive coping mechanism. You know, you might do those things, but actually if you set your energetic vibration and you think about the intention, the power, the energy that you want to hold through the day, if you do that very first thing in the morning, the chances of you slipping into unproductive habits or things that are really kind of counter other to what you want to do and who you want to be and who you know you are in your soul, you know, the chances of you doing that lessen considerably. And I can honestly say this from my own life, and it's incredible. Like a 5-minute meditation in the morning. Like, I get that some of you have 3 children under 5, okay? I'm not a naive, I'm not a complete idiot. I understand that, you know, you're not all yogis or like, you know, living in an ashram or chilling up a mountain trying to attain a constant state of Buddhahood. So this is really like practical, pragmatic stuff. I do understand that people, you know, that time is precious and a lot of people don't have a lot of it in the morning. But seriously, a 5-minute meditation does me sometimes. It really really does. I sort of make a cup of tea. I don't go straight into meditation. I sit with a cup of tea and I just think about what is it that I've got to achieve? What's the energy that I want to carry? And then I go into a 5-minute meditation or 10-minute meditation, whatever kind of time I have. And it's amazing. It is amazing, the discernible, like witnessable, tangible, palpable difference between those days and the days when I get up and just get straight on the laptop, you know what I mean? And start carrying on with what I've got to do, with what my duties are for the day. The difference is so obvious, it's actually scary. That boat is so pretty. It's like a sort of teal / mint green / turquoise type colour. Oh, it's like a jewel on the canal. I like to think of myself as a machine sometimes. Like, I think of my brain as a big fancy computer, and I understand that on that big fancy computer there are some programs that just need to be deleted. Like, I downloaded them at a certain point when they made sense or whatever, and now they just don't make sense anymore, and they're just clogging up my mechanism, and they're kind of manifesting themselves as limiting beliefs, hang-ups, insecurities, kind of short circuit perspective mentalities where I know that that's not helpful for me and I need to kind of delete that program. I find it particularly helpful to think of my brain as a big fancy computer, and so quite often that's what I do. I think to myself, oh girl, you need to delete that program. And I think of setting my energetic vibration a little bit the same way. I think of myself as a machine where the body, the mind and the soul or spirit have to work in tandem throughout the day, and throughout the day they're also battling other things, they're battling other factors, things that might slow them down, things that might cause them to malfunction, and so they need to be working in tandem and they need to be working to the best of their ability. And I know that I can do something to help them on that journey through the day, and what I can do is set my energetic vibration, make sure that my aura is buzzing nicely at the speed that I want it to buzz at, and I'm not letting other people, other things, outside influences, external issues dictate that. And if you wake up and you instantly think, right, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to set my vibration, think about what you're doing even in that moment as you make that decision. You are adopting a state of empowerment. You are waking up first thing in the morning and thinking, I need to decide what I'm bringing to the day here, or I need to decide what my power word is, or whatever it is that you want to do. You could journal for 5 minutes. You could go for a walk, for 5 or 10 minutes round the block. I would say, reading sometimes can be good. Like for me, sometimes reading Rumi is a meditation. I don't necessarily need to be like walking or doing something that's silent. I can listen to music. I could listen to Brave New World by Dvorak. That could be a choice to set my energetic intention, to set my vibration, So you can think outside the box. You don't have to do what you think you should be expected to do, or what it would be obvious to do, or what somebody else would be doing, or what I do. But I think there are ways to show up and be present, and I think you already know what I mean by that, right? I don't want to teach you to suck eggs. It's literally just a simple case of showing up in the morning and deciding where you want to be and how you want to be and how things are going to work for you. Because I think we can so often allow something outside of ourselves that we can't control to sully our sense of how the day is going. And I don't want that for you, and I don't want that for me either. You can't control what side of the bed somebody else wakes up on. I don't know if that expression is kind of the thing on the other side of the pond or anywhere else in the world, but in England we have an expression, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed, meaning like I just woke up in a shitty mood and there's nothing I can do about it, it's completely beyond my control, I just woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I like that saying because I like all English idioms, but I'm calling bullshit on that saying too. There is no way to wake up on the wrong side of the bed. You wake up, and even if you've had a terrible nightmare or a terrible night's sleep, or your baby's crying because she's teething or whatever, you choose how to set your vibration for the day, and it is a choice. Believe me, it is a choice. And I've suffered with depression. I suffered with depression for years. I self-harmed for 7 years. I had an eating disorder. If I'm telling you it's a choice, there must be some degree of credence in that, right? And I know that it's hard to accept sometimes that it's a choice, and I know that it sounds patronising and it sounds condescending and it probably sounds like I've had a fucking perfect life and I don't know what I'm talking about. But believe me, like, life has knocked 7 shades of shit out of me, and I've come back brighter every time. And it's because I finally realised that it is a choice, that there is no way to wake up on the wrong side of the bed unless you will it so. As much as my mood might be changeable, and as much as I am aware that I get swayed by external factors, of course we all do, no man is an island, none of us live in a bubble, a convenient little bubble. And even when we try to, things go even more wrong, right? The entanglements are even more intense and even more profound because we're trying to push them away. So we're in resistance to the inevitable, you know. It is inevitable that human souls will marry together, and it will be a marriage of thunder or a marriage of chaos or even sometimes a marriage of death. But it will happen, and when we try and resist, then it just hurts so much more and it's so much more scary. And so what am I trying to get to? So really what I'm trying to say is, don't wake up on the wrong side of the bed. If you do wake up on the wrong side of the bed, quickly go to the meditation pillow, like hit that pillow, that is the remedy. Choose your prescription, choose your power word, choose where you want to go, what you want to do, how it's going to be for you. Because of course you're going to come up against things during the day that are going to stress you the hell out. And of course there are going to be people around you whose aura is going to be completely funky, and they are going to have woken up on the wrong side of the bed, and they are going to be completely under the illusion that there is nothing that they can do to change that. But why should they affect your mentality? Why should they affect your vibration? Like, take a look at the little ways in which you surrender power in that sense over and over throughout the day. And just know that there's this time in the morning, and there really is, even if it's just a moment, to think about an affirmation, to think about something that you read and it instantly clicks you into place. And maybe you need to go and find it. Maybe there isn't an available affirmation for you that just really speaks to your heart of what's really important and who you really are at soul level and how you can really grasp the day and make it your own. Maybe you haven't found that thing yet, and maybe you need to go and find it, and that's fine. That can be a journey for you too. That can be something enjoyable to do. And that could be really nice. So, you know, maybe in some sense you need to do that. And then when you find it, go to it each morning. And that can be your little time to set the dial, your little time to make those delicate, minute, but extremely effective and important adjustments. And that's all I really wanted to say is, you know, take control. And it's not even, I know it sounds ridiculous to say take control, it sounds maybe anathema to what spirituality truly is, you know, when it's its most effective. But really, by control, I just mean like stand in your power, know that you get to set the dial on your machine, you get to make sure that everything's working in tandem. And don't give that power to someone else. Don't give the power to do that to someone else, you know. We gave it up to our parents for years and years and years because we had to. Because, you know, if our parents were angry, then we thought that we weren't loved. Or if our parents were upset with each other, then we were scared that we wouldn't be secure anymore. You know, we gave it up to our primary caregivers for a very long time, whoever they were. And adulthood is the time of supreme spiritual empowerment and knowing, because it's only when you reach adulthood that you see, now I don't need to give it up to anyone. Now, if I want to, I can be my internal source of happiness and oneness and wisdom. I don't have to give it up to a partner. I don't have to give it up to a friend. I don't have to give it up to anybody. I don't have to give it up to my ratty neighbour who never says hello to me in the morning. I don't have to give it up to my boss. It's mine. It's mine, and I'm going to take it, I'm going to set it, I'm going to have it how I want to have it, you know? Don't let someone change your TV, change the channel on your TV station. You know what I mean? Like, you choose the pictures that you want to play out during the course of the day. And it's so much harder to knock you off track if you have thought that first thing in the morning and done your little thing to set your vibration. I always say going through the chakras is a good one. The 7 key chakras is a really good one. But everyone's got to find their own way, you know. Sometimes I just want to get up and listen to a bit of drum and bass while I make my tea. And that can be holy. Who's to say that that's not holy? Who is to say that that's not divine? Of course it is. If it feels divine, and if it really puts you on a hype and it makes you feel like, yes, now I have set my vibration. This is how I want to feel for the day. I want to be hyped. I want to be buzzing. I want to really bring myself to this day and enjoy the joy of the day, you know? So you choose how to set your vibration. Far be it for me to tell you how to set it, but I would urge you to set it, you know. Don't give control. Don't give the remote over to anyone else. You do it. You go to it. You have that moment of power every morning, no matter how brief. I would say have it, take it, drink it, relish it, eat it up, digest it. It's yours. And that's all for now. So much love. Blessed be.